to VLE Center, your #1 source for highlights, stats, and stories from the nation's premier Escatón Professional Basketball League. From buzzer beaters to behind the scenes, if it's V-League, it's right here. This is VLE Center.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from all over the United States of America, I got the man, the myth, the legend in this exclusive interview with VLE Center. My name is Ali Madawi, and I got a legacy, not only player, former player, coach, head coach, owner of a team, and a creator of opportunities, creator of superstars. I can even give you a list in the double and maybe even gear into the triple digits. Young men all over the world and all over different teams in G League, and even got in practices in NBA, and a multiple ring winner, championship winner, legacy winner, and I can go on and on and on and on. But I've gotten to know him and be courtside and watch him for my second season in a row. I've only missed one game that I missed this whole season, and I will make it up to you, obviously, sir. Please do me a favor, and if you're driving, don't touch your phones. But if you're not, give a whole lot of love in that comment for the one and only owner and head coach of the Beltway Bombers, Mr. Chaz Dudley. How you doing, boss?
Appreciate the warm welcome. Thank you, sir. I'm doing great.
Absolutely. We're excited to have you. And, first and foremost, this is the first official conversation we're having since the doubleheader that has taken place 2 weeks ago against what I would say the rival of the Beltway Bombers this season, at least, the Neptunes. It was close. You guys lost by 2 points, and I know how frustrating it was just because the expectations were super, super high. It was just from what I've gathered, a little bit that I gathered, execution wasn't at its finest and at its best. And then you guys went on the next day and beat the DMV Warriors. Rather, the DMV Warriors went on to beat the Neptunes, which you guys obliterated by double-digit win the following week. So with all that context, how is the Beltway Bombers mindset gearing up to the playoffs?
We are great, man. Look, it was a regular season game on a neutral court against a very good team. And at the end of the day, we lost. Okay. They scored more than we did. All credit goes to the Virginia Neptunes. Now, there are reasons why you lost. So when you look at film and you go back and look at it, those are fixable mistakes. We had a very solid first half, very poor third quarter, and then a solid fourth quarter. But when you miss 16 free throws and you don't finish at the end when you ordinarily finish, it's the reason why you lost. But at the end of the day, they beat us. But it's a regular season game. So it doesn't negate our goals. It has nothing to do with the path that we're taking to get our fourth consecutive ring, right? Our goal right now is we've earned the right to be in the Final Four. We play the DMV Warriors on this Saturday, and that is our complete focus. So we're not looking at any other team or any other goal. We have to get by a very formidable DMV Warriors team. But, all credit, tip of the hat to the Virginia Neptunes. They beat us, and we hope to see them again, hopefully in the championship, to right that wrong.
If I can stay there in that topic, that loss was a little bit out of character, especially when you mentioned the stats that you just mentioned for the Bombers. What do you think look, there's obviously so many variables. It's still basketball. It's still, men. There's still mindset. What do you think was the direct impact that led to that out of character loss for the Beltway Bombers? Even the scoring was not the explosive scoring that you're used to with the Bombers. What was the reason or the cause, if you were to evaluate it, that led to that? And maybe it's not the right question, but if you can give us a little bit of context as to what went wrong, that led to those stats.
Well, the Neptunes played a part in how we play poorly. They played solid defense. They have a great shot blocker in DeJour Dickens. They have solid perimeter defense, right? But it's nothing we haven't seen before. So it was a matter of us not playing up to our usual Beltway Bomber standards, and it was the Neptunes played well, right? So we felt at the end of the day, we played at maybe 75, 80% of our capabilities. I don't care who you play. When you leave 16 points off the free throw line, where the majority of them are in the second half, it's an issue, right? Because in our league, when you take a free throw, you're only taking one because one counts for two. So when you miss that one, you're leaving 2 points off the board. So we left 16 points off, most of them in the second half, in a 2-point game, right? So when you're doing that, down the stretch with less than 20 seconds left, we got a steal and we get a chance to finish, and we just didn't finish, right? So opportunities were there to win, but all credit goes to the Neptunes because they beat us. You know, because you hear my players, oh, we didn't play them on our home court. It doesn't matter. It's 94 by 50, right? It's a neutral court, but at the end of the day, it's 94 by 50, 10-foot rim. It's a basketball court. Get out there and do your job, right? So we didn't play to our level. The Neptunes played well. They beat us. Tip of the hat to them. But in perspective, it's a regular season game that we've moved on from because we had to play DMV the following week on the road, and we came out victorious. So now it's a brand new season. All 4 teams are 0-0 going into the Final Four. We have been in 4 of the last 5 championship games of the V League, right? So we have that experience going for us. We're bringing our full roster down there. No excuses. We're coming to hoop, and we're coming to get our 4th consecutive ring. No question.
The excitement was all-time high, I would say, even for the players. I've interviewed a lot of your players. I've interviewed a lot of the Virginia Neptunes players leading up to that doubleheader. And, you know, how is the mindset of your players? Because I can only imagine it was a disappointing loss. And I love and I quote you all the time on this, you know, have a short memory, you know, and you said that when you guys were winning, you know, like without a loss, I would be like, Coach, what does this win mean to you guys in the streak that you're going with? And you're like, I have a short memory, keep it moving forward, forget about this game, prepare for the next. Is that the same attitude, or did you have to have some conversations to kind of make sure that players are in the right frame of mind?
Yeah, I appreciate that. No conversation. We got to them, and I said, make your damn free throws. You know what I mean? You're a pro. Make your free throws. You're getting to the basket. You're getting fouled. We're putting them in bonus. We're attacking the rim, and they're fouling us. You have to make them pay by making the free throws. If you don't do that against a good team, it's going to cost you, right? So make your free throws, and let's fix the things that are fixable. They're very fixable things, right? But at the end of the day, let's have a quick funeral because we had to play a good DMV team the next week. There is no carryover. It's done. There was a 2-week layoff. Now we're in the Final Four against DMV. So I'm not thinking of any other team or any other situation other than the DMV Warriors in the Final Four. They are a super talented team, well coached by my guy, Ben. They're coming to play, and we have to address them. Now, if we come out victorious on Saturday, then we turn our attention to the winner of the second Final Four game. If it happens to be the Neptunes or Savannah, we're familiar with them. We played them both this year, and we'll address that. But right now, my players are not even talking about the Neptunes. We're not talking about Savannah. We're talking about the DMV Warriors.
I'll move away from the players and what they're talking about in their mindset, but I got one direct question for you. Coach Stretch, after that win, you know, he was all excited. I tried to grab an interview, and I could only get 20 seconds out of him. And the only thing that he stated, and I quote, when I asked him, what does this win mean to you guys? And he said, this win simply means this. You are not the best in the league. We are. I'm expecting you in the finals. I will see you in the finals. Be ready because we'll be there for you. What is your reaction when you hear the head coach, you know, being as vocal about such a statement?
Post-game talk, he got caught up in a moment and said what he said. And you know what? When you win, you deserve to say it. I just have that philosophy that when you win, you say very little. And when you lose, you say even less. So that's how I approach it. So there is no braggadocio on our end. We just handle it as business as usual. So when you win, we don't lose often, Ali. And we've actually had 4 losses in 6 years, right? So we don't lose often. So when we lose, it's a shock to the system, and then we go back and address it right away. So believe you me, we've addressed it. He has the right to say whatever he wants to say, but understood that it was heard. It was heard by me. It was heard by our players, and it's noted, but it's not of consequence Saturday because we play the DMV Warriors. Now, we're fortunate enough to beat the DMV Warriors, and they are fortunate enough to beat the Savannah Hurricanes. Then it will be revisited. And I'm not into bulletin board, but it's very hard pressed for my players not to take note that someone is chirping a little bit on that when we've accomplished everything we accomplished. If you beat a team in the regular season, it doesn't naturally translate to the fact that you're the best team in the league. It means you won that game on that day. When you win the championship, you're the best team in the league that day. And the Beltway Bombers, believe you me, are completely focused on coming to get our 4th consecutive chip. We don't believe in repeat. So a lot of guys go, hey, let's go get our repeat. Oh, no, we don't repeat. We're not in defense of a title. Defense is a negative posture. We're going after another one. So we're going after our 4th one. We're 2 wins away of getting it. So that's the focus. So again, he's entitled to say what he wants to say. He's entitled to say it the way he wants to say it. All right. And if the situation presents itself where we see each other again on the court, and now he's got to back up those words. I know my players are locked in. We're locked in. So we'll deal with it when that time comes.
Yeah. The DMV Warriors had a very slow start in the season, and they almost kind of got written off, and then little by little they creeped right back up, and they started really making some statement wins, and here they are now on the Final Four. Young roster, new players. I remember I interviewed Coach Bullock and his roster on the very, very opening week, and they were kind of figuring things out. From the outside looking in, the majority of us are going to be like, well, of course, the Beltway Bombers are the favorite, and they're going to take that W. How do you make sure that you get your team to not underestimate a potential contender that is hidden within that DMV roster?
Well, I'm not into the favorites. They are a talented team, well coached by Ben. Ben was my assistant for 2 years on 2 championship teams. So I know what Ben is capable of doing on the sidelines. I know his players. We play against the DMV Warriors home and away and many times in the playoffs year after year. I know who they are. They're talented, they're tough, they're scrappy, they're focused, and they're well coached, right? We are absolutely not looking past anyone. We never do. We don't look past any team, particularly in the playoffs, particularly against a rival team, right? So we're going to be locked in and focused against DMV. They're going to want to compete at the highest level against us. So, DMV took themselves from a challenging start and they worked themselves up to being one of the best teams in the league. So right now you have 4 teams in the Final Four who are deserving, who are battling each other for that crown. So on any given day, anything could happen on any plays. DMV Warriors is the team to be reckoned with, and we're going to be prepared to play them on Saturday because we have to.
Yeah, as owner and operator and head coach, how have you, and you've had a front row seat to the V League since it rebranded into the V League, how has the development of the league itself and the progression, give us a little bit of those of us who, I'm only a year and a half, almost 2 years in with the V League. What can you tell us about that starting point to where it is right now? And I know there's a lot of potential, but give us a little bit of your front row seat experience thus far to the progression of the V League.
Yeah, so I've seen it where we've had a tremendous amount of teams on both conferences. So you're looking at that North Conference, which is kind of separated by maybe Northern Virginia area upwards, where we've had 12, 14 teams in that conference. And then from that area down Richmond all the way down towards Florida, you had all those teams, right? So we were in there with a lot of teams, but then after a while, you kind of sift through the teams, and now you want to get quality owners with quality coaches, with quality organizations, with talented teams. So on any given day when teams play, it's competitive and you got parity in the league. So I've seen that, and I'm seeing it now, and it's only going to get better. So right now we look at our schedule and there are no cupcakes on the schedule. There aren't any teams that we call homecoming games where you're going to beat by a wide margin, right? Every game is going to be a competitive game, and that in essence is what the league is about. There's a bunch of other leagues out there, but the reason why I'm committed on this league is because of the organization, the commitment of Andre Vaughn and Kevin English and yourself and everyone else associated with it, the other owners and coaches and players. It's a group, and it's a group that while we're cordial and professional with each other, we want to win. Everybody wants to win, and we're that target because we won. So I like the league. I like what we're doing. And I like all the teams that's in it.
Yeah, I love that. What is your message to the fans, the sponsors, and everybody really that is not necessarily directly involved in the teams themselves. And the reason I ask, it's been a long season. It's been a battle, and we are on the Final Four and ready to close another incredible season. What is your message to everybody watching? And, what is your message for those who need to be at the Final Four games?
Yeah, this is true pro basketball. You're able to come out to Hampton, Virginia this upcoming weekend to watch the Final Four. You're going to see pro-level talented players who played at major colleges, players who tried out for the NBA or went overseas and came back, or went to the G League and came back. You can see them up close for an extremely reasonable price. And you get to see 2 games on Saturday and the championship Sunday. So there are times that you need to see a player, because I can only speak for my Bombers. We lose on average about 5 players every season who get called up to the NBA, G League, and overseas. And all of a sudden now you're seeing that player on TV and you're going, hey, this guy's talented. Well, yeah, he played with us 3 games this season already and he went. So it's a great thing. So likewise for other teams, you're going to experience that. Any fan, anybody in the surrounding community in Hampton, or if you're in a short drive away, but any sponsor, you need to latch on to specific teams and specific organizations, because that is going to help you and your business of what you're associating with, particularly if you're in that community. So we're fortunate. I know that other teams in the league, especially the teams that are in the Final Four, we have solid sponsorships because we have a proven product on the court and a proven organization. All 4 teams.
No, I love that. Finally, as we come into an end to this interview, goodness gracious, it goes so fast. What is your message to your players when they watch this as they're preparing for a battleground? I love it when, Brent Arrington, AJ, Dre, all these guys, whenever I'm talking, everybody's like, it's going to be a dogfight. And I love what I hear it every single time. What is your message to your own players? What is your message to them for a heck of a season, from not just the owner of the Beltway Bombers or the head coach, but that father figure or big brother figure that you are to these guys? What is your message to them heading to the Final Four?
I appreciate that. I cherish the moment. Like enjoy the process, enjoy the moment. You're in a position now to do something that's unprecedented. Right? You already won 3 in a row. You're in a position to win 4 in a row. You need to embrace the fact that no other team wants us to win 4. You need to welcome that. We're going to get everyone best effort. You need to maximize that effort on the court. So if we play at maximum effort with execution, playing unselfishly, playing with our usual tough and physical nature, we have a chance. And look, I'm very humble and mindful of what I say and what I do, but the only thing that I will say that has a tinge of strength to it is I feel very confident that when our Beltway Bombers plays at our best, when our players play at our best, I feel very confident that we can win against other teams if they play at their best, right? So I'm just basically saying that I have full confidence in my team and my players because we've been there. We've been in dogfights. We've been in situations where we're behind in championship games and we came back to win. We understand it. And then we look at the film and we look at the tendencies of players and we try to take away those tendencies when it matters in playoff games. So I love it. So if we're going to lose this year, it's going to be because a team beat us. It's not going to be because we beat ourselves. So we're looking to come and get our 4th one. No question about it. We're coming with bad intentions. How about that?
I love that. I love that. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been exclusive of yours truly with coach and owner of the Beltway Bombers, Chaz Dudley, a championship legacy already established. I am genuinely grateful that you've given me the opportunity to genuinely be part of the journey this whole season. I feel like we need to do a whole documentary, but we'll leave that for our last dance special. But we're far from it. You got more work to do before we get to that.
Gotcha.
But I appreciate you. I wish you nothing but the greatness. Obviously, I'll be seeing you myself this weekend. And we'll for everybody that is watching, make sure that you visit vleague.pro. That is vleague.pro for all highlights, stats, specials. If you want to become a sponsor, if you are a player and you want to see if there's any open spots, we'll connect you directly with the owners and the head coaches of your own perspective city. Or you may be somebody who wants to actually come in as a franchisee and start your own team. Make sure you visit vleague.pro, and you have some of the greats like Chaz Dudley who are not going to hoard greatness and information. I've been part of owners meetings and everybody just pours onto everybody, because when the league rises, the community rises. And when the community rises, opportunities come to these players and everybody around them. So I appreciate you and I thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, show a whole lot of love to the one and only Chaz Dudley on that comments. Until next time, peace out, everybody.
You got it. Thanks, Ali. See you this weekend.
See ya.
What's something people don't know about the next-gen streaming platform? Imagine a world where streaming isn't just about broadcasting your content, but about creating an entire universe for your audience to explore. Virtuoverse is here to revolutionize content creation. Traditional streaming is outdated. With Virtuoverse, you can step into a new dimension of interaction and creativity. Host events, create content, and engage your audience in a whole new way. Virtuoverse brings next-level virtual experiences where you're not just a creator, you're an innovator. Create your own virtual stage with stunning visuals and real-time engagement. Stream, monetize, and grow, all in one powerful platform. Whether you're an artist, an entrepreneur, or a game changer, Virtuoverse is your stage. Imagine having the tools to not only share your passion, but also to turn it into a thriving business. With Virtuoverse, you can track your growth, engage with your audience in real time, and celebrate your milestones like never before. Ready to level up? Join the revolution in content creation and entertainment. Open a free account today and start your journey towards becoming a virtual pioneer. The future of streaming is here, and it's called Virtuoverse. Don't just stream, create, innovate, and captivate your audience like never before. Join Virtuoverse today and redefine what it means to be a content creator. Virtuoverse integrates seamlessly with your favorite social media platforms, making it easier than ever to share your content and grow your audience. Engage with your followers, receive instant feedback, and build a community around your passion. And here's the game changer. Virtuoverse pays you for watching, adding, and commenting on other people's content. Turn your engagement into earnings and make every interaction count. Virtuoverse is not just a platform, it's a thriving ecosystem where everyone benefits. Join Virtuoverse today and be part of the future of streaming. Create, share, and earn like never before. Virtuoverse, where your creativity meets endless possibilities. Sign up at Virtuoverse for free today.
Welcome to VLE Center, your #1 source for highlights, stats, and stories from the nation's premier Escatons Professional Basketball League. From buzzer beaters to behind the scenes, if it's V-League, it's right here. This is VLE Center.